Alright, all you evil Knievel's in training out there, welcome back to Under the Radar. And seeing the fact that once again the maestro told me that all of this week's current stunts is still trapped in that dangerous blue Muta triangle on the Rockstar Socialclub page, we once again decided to take out our stunt hat that maestro decided to name as of this week to pull out this week's theme. And I got a feeling a little bit of irony went into this one, folks, because it would be none other than power. And seeing the fact that last week everybody was without power, and hopefully your power has been restored since then. And if not, don't worry, because I got a feeling a couple of these crazy stunners is gonna probably jump over a power line just to make it come back on, as we leap into another very special milestone edition of the wild world of stunts. And the first stunt that we have up as a perfect example of somebody willing to jump over a power line to restore power to your house comes from the YouTube page of Fraudy Brand with their said stunt known as Power Line Stunt. And this stunt, which features Fraudy, who likes to be called Mr. Fraudy, I wonder if it's any relation to the Ozzy Osbourne song, but if it isn't, we'll take credit for that mention, who decided to wear a yellow backpack, which apparently was a parachute just in case his stunt failed, and would decide to go to the Los Santos River and kick his way up the wall, only to thread the needle through a power line system and skate through the other side clean as a whistle, only to land on both of his wheels like what, maestro? For him to ride off like nothing happened. And according to what the maestro said, apparently the power didn't come back on when he did it, but the spark from it caused a little miniature electrical fire that the people of Los Santos actually had to put out. You mean the fire department? Oh yeah, maestro said the fire department, but there were volunteers, so the fire burned for another good 3 hours. Ugh. And the next stunt that we have up comes from none other than Yielding Pigs 3097 with their said stunt, Power Slide. And now I get the reason why in the world maestro mentioned Tenacious D, because during the movie The Pick of Destiny, they had to do a little bit of a power slide to make their way to the other side of a door, but in this case, Yielding here would decide to use a power slide to make his way through Los Santos traffic, not only avoiding a car on the way from the opposite lane, but also power slide ding his way right directly past a stoplight and right directly through the other side of town to make his way without getting hit by any cars to the clock tower right directly near downtown Los Santos, which definitely makes me wonder if he was one of those pro drivers, a part of the Fast and Furious movies, or at least the stunt doubles, and according to Maestro, he wasn't. But they need to hire him for the next one, I'll tell you that much. And the PR department, along with the doctors and the Maestro, is giving this stunt a 10, along with yours truly. And the next stunt that we have up comes from none other than Vinewood on Fire with their said stunt, Bike Slide at Sandy Shores Airfield. Now, I know a couple of you at home are wondering, how in the world does this fit in with this theme of Power Slide for this week of the Wild World of Stunts? Well, apparently according to the Maestro, he said watch the footage, which I did, which involves the femme fatales in the air actually using their bike to jump into the skies and slide down the entire Los Santos Sandy Shores Airfield like it was nothing, only for them to kick back up, do a little bit of a jump over the fence near the end of the runway, and to land on both wheels like what, Maestro?
Like a
drive off like they've done this before 1,000 times. And according to the Maestro, I do believe they have. Man, in their career, they've definitely done crazy things like this well over 1,000 times. And the next stunt that we have up, or according to the Maestro, makeshift car accident, comes from the stunner Nicholas 0110 with their said stunt, The Power of the Insurgents. Now, the only reason we said that, folks, is because it's in all capital letters with at least 3 exclamation points at the end, so we had to put some respect on it. And according to the Maestro, that was a good idea because during this stunt, Nick, who was driving this insurgent up the side of a mountain, realized that the incline of this hill was just a little bit too much for him to climb to get away from those cops, would then decide to go about face and forward march his way down this hill, only to get in a little bit of a Red Lobster, Sizzler, or Outback Steakhouse T-bone like accident with the police car at the bottom of this hill, causing it to explode upon impact. But fortunately for the police, no one was in the car, and instead they turned around and realized their brand new squad car just got crushed by an insurgent, for them to turn around and say, "Hey, where you going, buddy?" and shoot a couple of shots at the insurgent, which did no damage to it whatsoever. And, oh yeah, by the way, Nicholas would write down, "Be careful with these things." Oh, we will. We will. And apparently, according to the Los Santos Police Department, he owes well over $435,000 in damages to that police car, amongst other damages he caused during his little runaway spree with that insurgent. Because he blew up another 16 along the way back to his base, where the cops couldn't find him. Right. And the last but not least stunt that we have up for this week comes from the stunner Maniac 82 with their said stunt, Babica Power Punch. And apparently during this stunt, the stuntress or former superhero known as Babica, who dates herself back all the way to the 1900s, who used to protect people way back during the day, in the earlier days of New York City, to move on over to Los Santos to protect the citizens over there in her golden years, would run into a no-good ruffian that called himself Ryan, only to take her purse, and then next would end up taking a hard right hand to the face from Babica, calling it the power punch that she used to do back in the 1900s that used to floor bag guys and send them flipping out of their shoes. Yeah, it would do the same thing to Ryan here, because he would flip in slow motion out of his shoes doing a landing flat on his face and hitting the ground while Babica would grab her purse in mid-flight while he was in the air and just walk away like nothing happened. And the only reason the cameras were able to catch it, folks, is because we had it in super slow motion, because otherwise you would just see this guy flying through the air like nothing was going on. Like he was just doing it as a street performance trick, and it was no trick, folks. But according to what the Maestro said, it was definitely a treat for us to watch. I would have to agree. And if you guys want to go ahead and check out any other crazy stunts of people trying to get themselves maimed for unnecessary fame, you can head on over to the Rockstar Socialclub page, only known as socialclub.rockstargames.com, and just click right on that video page to check out any of these crazy stunners who are willing to do just about anything for a Klondike bar, including trying to steal from an old woman who used to be a superhero, now retired in her golden years, to still have a golden glove like right hook to knock out Ryan, who actually got stomped out after he got flipped in the air and after the superhero got her purse back. Yeah, we forgot to mention that part. And I guess with that said, folks, we might as well head back into this music once again. And when we return, we'll be back with another edition of the GTA Online Top 5 Tracks of the Week right after this. So don't touch that dial just yet, folks, and stay tuned.